Good morning, everyone. Vloggy Poncho here, and we are back with another episode of my daily vlog. Oh, what's today? Today is January I can cheat and check right now, 8th. January the 8th, 2013, and also known as the second day of class. So I know yesterday I promised you the story of my healthiest day, but I'm going to have to push that back till tomorrow, I think, because we've had some new developments. Disaster has befallen my cell phone. This is something I've never experienced before, but yesterday my cell phone got soaked. And at this point, the future looks grim. So I'll start by telling what happened. I was going to my PE class, which looks like it's going to be an interesting course, if not a particularly difficult one. It's just going to be mostly playing soccer, which is what you'd expect from a soccer PE. But the weird thing about the class that kind of makes it annoying is that to get to the field where we play, it's a half-hour walk from my dorm. And the parking near the field is sketchy as to whether or not it's actually legal to park there. So it's going to be a pain getting there. So yesterday I left early, and I brought all my stuff I thought I would need. I had my wallet, I had my little notepad I like to write things down in so I don't forget. I had my handkerchief, I had my cell phone, I had all my stuff. I had it in this little drawstring bag that I got. So I figured that would be appropriate for taking to a PE class. And I tossed my water bottle in there too. And so I packed all my stuff. I put a towel in there just because, you have to towel off the exercise. And I got down to the stairs in my dorm and went, my back feels really cold. Something's not right here. I reach back and I feel the bottom. I'm like, I feel the bottom of the bag. And it feels it feels familiar. There's something, it's cold and it feels strange. And then I suddenly realized where I felt it before. It felt like a Ziploc bag full of water. And if you've never felt what that feels like, go feel it. It's really weird. It's like, you just fill a little sandwich bag about halfway up with water, and then just kind of squish it on the bottom. It's the strangest feeling. It sort of gives but doesn't give. It's like a waterbed, kind of. Anyway, so I reach around and I feel the bottom of this thing, and it's like, oh crap. So I quickly take the bag off and I'm pulling stuff out. I'm like, I save my wallet. I pull my I'm pulling my notebook out. I'm getting the towel out. And I pull the water bottle out. And it's just dripping. There's like an inch of water in the bottom of the bag. I'm like, oh no, oh no. And there's my phone on the very bottom. I pull the phone out and it's just soaked. I'm like, oh no. And of course, I had to try and keep going to class or I was going to be late, so I did the best I could. I had the towel, which was mostly dry, so I tried to towel off as best I could, and then I just put it back. I was like, what can I do with it now? So I went to class, and then by the time I got back out of class, I tried to turn it on. And apparently this is like the one thing you're not supposed to do when your phone gets wet is try and turn it on before you've done all the things to dry it out. So I may have killed the damn thing. But it sort of turned on at first, but it was spazzing out. Like buttons from different menus were on the wrong screens, and the thing from the bottom kept popping. The pop-up menu kept going up and down by itself, which basically made the phone impossible to use. And then after a little while, it just died and it wouldn't turn on after that. And, but it just so happens that, if you remember, I recently bought a bag of rice to make ourselves some juggling implements. And it turns out that that's also also a great way to try and resuscitate a soaked cell phone. So now it has been sitting in this cup here, nice emblazoned with the Georgia logo. That's cool. So I got a cup of rice here with my cell phone in it. And now's the moment of truth to see if the rice has indeed resuscitated the phone. So let me I got the battery in here. And then the rest of the phone, try and get all the little bits of rice out of it. I don't want it to get rice up inside and ports and things. That would be bad. Yeah, there's one stuck in there. Come on. Ah, there we go. Alright, that looks like that's all the rice out of it. Actually, I like this phone. It's a pretty decent phone. And I've taken really good care of my phone. And that's why this is so strange for me. I take such good care of my possessions. Like, I still have the plastic screen cover on the front of... Oh, look, you can see my camera. That's kind of weird. I still have the plastic screen cover on my phone from when I first got it. And I've only had this thing for like 8 months or something like that. Alright, so let me wipe down the inside of it. I don't want there to be any like rice residue or something left in here. Try to do everything I can for you, phone. Please come back to me. Just wipe the battery down. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Hey, look at that. So it's turning on now, at least, but I don't know if that's going to mean it's totally working. It takes a little while to turn on. Alright. Well, good news and bad. The first is that the phone seems to be working. The second is that it seems to have done a factory reset. Because none of my stuff is here. All my contacts are gone, all my apps are gone. The background is pink. That's definitely not my background. So, it looks like I have a zombie phone. It's alive and also dead. So, I don't know how I'm going to get all my phone numbers back. Have you guys ever experienced anything like this where your phone craps out? Is there some really intelligent, sophisticated way for me to get all my phone numbers, all my contacts back? So if there is, I really would like to know about it. Because I have probably 100 people's number in here. I mean, granted, I only talk to 4 or 5 of them in any given week, but still, it would be nice to have my contacts back if there's any way to recover that. It is a Droid phone. It's Android, and I don't know if that. I guess that probably would matter. I don't think the coverage matters. I have Virgin Mobile, but anyway, yeah. If you know anything about getting contacts back in a phone, like I don't know if Google has them like backed up somewhere and I can go download them because it's an Android phone or what. But this is cool. I got the little Android guy. See if we can get the camera to focus on him. Hello? Yeah, sort of. This is him right here. He's like waving at me. He's like, "Hey, welcome to your new phone." It's like, it's not a new phone, it's an old phone. It's just a zombie phone now. Alright, well, better result than I could have hoped for. Just one last thing, I gotta put my SD card back in here. It's asking me to put that back in. I took everything out while it was in the rice. Alright, let's see if it doesn't mind the SD card being back in. Oh! Oh, it's still working! Oh, great. Alright, I'm going to charge it. This probably needs charging right now. On to the next big piece of news. Yesterday, or more like last night in college football, Alabama trounced Notre Dame, and I was very much pleased to see it. Being from Georgia, I was just rooting for the SEC team. But, man, if you watched the SEC championship this year, you know how close Georgia came to beating Alabama and going to the national championship. And based on the way that they played last night against Alabama, I know for a fact, or at least a very well supported opinion, that Georgia would have beat Notre Dame if we'd gone to the national championship. So that puts us this close to a national championship. Next year, baby! Next year's our year! Yeah! Go Dogs! And all that stuff. I'm graduating, so it's not going to mean so much for me after this, but we did pretty well. In juggling news today, or yesterday really, I discovered that I have a problem with this new method, or at least I have a novice tendency that apparently some people have to deal with, where I have tendency to walk forward as I'm juggling. And apparently this happens to a lot of people when they first start to learn. So the way that I have to fix this, and the way I've been practicing all day yesterday, well, not all day, you know, I took breaks to eat, was up against my bed, just standing facing the bed, because my bed's up really high, because it's storage space underneath there. All my junk's under the bed. Ooh, excuse me. Shouldn't have soda first thing in the morning. Ooh. So just up against like a bed or a couch or a table, anything that stops you from walking forward and also puts a platform in front of you is very convenient when you're learning to juggle, because first off, it stops you from walking forward, and secondly, when you drop the things, they're right there on the table in front of you. You don't have to go after them. They're not on the floor. They don't roll away. And these rice bags, rice balloons that we made a couple videos ago have been working splendidly. I'm very pleased. And I kind of got the method down by the end. So this orange one was the first one I made, and then I realized that it was a bit too big. So I made another one, I made a green one, and was like, wow, that one's even bigger. What the hell am I doing? So then I started very carefully measuring how much rice I needed. Like, what are the odds I would have 2 uses for a bag of rice? I spent $3. Like, actually, I gave the clerk $3. The total cost was less than $3 for the rice and the balloons. And not only has it given me juggling instruments, but it's also resuscitated my phone, man, for $3. Come on, that's a good deal. So I've been practicing with these the past couple days, and I definitely feel like I'm getting better, even if I still have the tendency to walk forward a little bit. And I already like these rice balloons better than the tennis balls because they don't run away when you drop them. They sort of just, they stick. It's kind of hard to demonstrate that off camera, but they really don't go anywhere. So I'm going to juggle for a bit, and we'll see if we can get a new high score. The goal now is to get up to 15 tomorrow, which we may or may not reach. The whole idea with goals for me is there's not a huge pressure to achieve them like in the exact deadline. It's all about improvement. It's about striving to better yourself, and like just having goals pushes you to do things and to try new things and to accomplish things. And I probably want to talk at some point about my grandfather's opinion on goals and the logic and I would say the wisdom that he gave to me about what a goal setting is for. That's another good story. So I already promised you my healthiest day. That'll be tomorrow. Maybe after that we'll talk about my grandfather's goals. So I'm going to go try and juggle a little bit. We'll see if we can get higher than our score of... We had 11 on the old technique, but that technique's crap, so forget about it. I'm up to like 8 or 9 on this technique. We'll see if we can do better than that. Whoa, that was pretty good. Was that 12? I have the red ball back in my right hand. I'll have to count it. How many was that? 16. Yeah, pretty good. Wait a second. 16? Goal achieved. Let's dance. Oh yeah.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
See you guys tomorrow morning.
Gangnam Style.